Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Stump Elder Pastor Harm down. Also, I'd like to give double honor to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And also, I'd like to give another shout out to Teacher Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this word and this truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. All right, to y'all, I'd like to say Shalom. All right, now come back to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Washai with another exhortation video. And Lord willing, this video be found edifying. All right, to whoever may watch. And pretty much, I was yesterday I was thinking, I was just like, man, I was just thinking out loud to myself pretty much. And I was just thinking like, man, we should be happy, all right, when the Lord, put hell on us, because at the end of the day, that goes to show you that the Lord is dealing with you. And not only that, you should want the Lord to deal with you and to bring hell on you, man. All right, because at the end of the day, when the Lord is bringing hell on you, it's for a reason. It's a purpose behind it, man. All right, like the brother told me, in my incident one time when I fucked up, the Lord was trying to show you something, And when the Lord, nine times out of 10, when the Lord bringing hell on you and bringing chastisement towards your way, it's a purpose behind it. It's for Him to show you something, or it's for Him to sit your ass down. Just like when you got a son or maybe a daughter, you're gonna you're gonna chastise them. Why? Because you love them and you trying to show them I'm chastising you so you won't do it, so you won't go this path. You won't go the wrong way. And that's what the Lord is pretty much doing with us. He's bringing hell on us and whooping our ass so we won't go astray, or He's just trying to show us something that we need to fix. So we should kind of enjoy. We should be happy when the Lord bringing hell towards us, man. Whether if it's dealing with financial issues, that's what a lot of brothers are, whether if it's doing with women issue, whether if it's, that's all of us as well, pretty much. Whether if it really anything, man. We gotta take it on the chin, man. We can't, get mad and, damn, Lord, why you always put hell on? Nah, man. We can't be like that. What did what did the Lord tell us? The Lord told us in Job 38 and verse 3, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I would demand of thee, and answer thou me. See, the Lord told us to gird up thy loins like a man. Pretty much be like a man. Don't bitch out. The Lord said, gird up thy loins like a man. Be a man in this situation. Now there will be instances you may fuck up, but the plan is not to fuck up. Speaking to myself first and foremost. We gotta understand, take stuff cheerfully on the chin, man. At the end of the day, the Lord told us what? I got to roughly paraphrase it. Let me see. This is 1 Corinthians 13. Yep, 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. They had no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to an escape, that you may be able to bear it. You see, so the Lord ain't gonna put shit on you that you ain't able to escape, man. And that's something I gotta always, remember to myself. You know, I always gotta remember that to myself, man. I be like, man, sometimes I get a little worried. I be like, man, at the end of the day, the Lord told us in the scriptures, that He's not gonna put much on us that we are not able to bear, man. So we gotta remember that, man. You know. Yeah. To the Bluetooth. But yeah, we not, the Lord ain't gonna, put too much on us that we cannot bear it, man. You know? We gotta remember that. If the Lord putting the hell on you, He see that you can get out of it. And He say He's gonna what? It says, but with the temptation also make a way to escape. He's gonna make a way for you to escape the situation. He just putting you through the situation to see what you're gonna do. And so you can see something out of that situation that you need to see. That's why He's putting it on you. But guess what? It said that you may be able to bear it. So He's gonna make a way for you to escape and to bear it, be able to go through it, go through the adversity. That's why He's putting hell on you. So let's go now to the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 24. It says, "He that spare his rod hateth his son." You see that? So, and the rod would be considered a belt punishment. Taking things away from you, man. That's what the Lord is doing with us. But the Lord is saying, "He that spare his son," meaning your son. This is scripture you could say, be like, "Hey, man, you able to beat your kids?" Not that in that way, but you're able to discipline them. Because this word teaches you, that you shouldn't, put your kids on punishment. That's why these little Edomite babies, Jake too, but that's why these kids are the way they are today, man. There's no discipline. But it says, "He that spare his rod hateth his son." So you hate your son if you're not disciplining them. And that's what Yahweh Shai is doing with us. He's disciplining us. If He's not disciplining us, I mean, He hate us. Right? Because every dad is going to discipline, their children. It says, "He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes." You see? If you love your son, if you truly love him, you're going to chasten him. And that's what the Lord is doing with us. He's chastening us because of what? He loves us. He sees us as one of His sons. Lord willing, we are. So we should kind of, enjoy it. We should be happy, when the Lord, is bringing hell our way. Like I said, although, it may not feel good, it may not, be what you want it to be, but at least the Lord is, still having the Spirit on you, man. Because some brothers, can't even really call them brothers, but had people that came in this truth. The Lord put hell on them, and they just, went astray because they couldn't handle the pressure. That's a test from Yahweh Shai. So let's go over now to the book of James, chapter 12. James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. And I'm reading in the GNT as well. But we're going to read it in the KJV first. It says, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience." See? So let's read it in the GNT, because that GNT going to smack it. It's going to be a 2-punch combo when you read it in the GNT. All right? So let's read it in the GNT real quick. James 1, verses 2 to 3. It says, "My friends, consider yourselves fortunate." Ooh. Do you not know what that word fortunate means? Let's look it up. says fortunate. It says having good fortune, receiving good from uncertain or unexpected sources. So you're receiving something that's good. So it says, my friends, consider yourselves fortunate when all kinds of trials come your way. You see that? Meaning you should be happy, you should be joyful when trials come in your way, man. It just tests. That's all it is. That's all we got to look at it is. A test, and, you know, Lord trying to show us something out of it. That's all it is, brothers. Speaking to myself first and foremost. That's all it is. It's a test from Yahweh Shah. That's all it is. And we got to remember that, man. That's all it is, man. It says, my friends, consider yourselves fortunate when all kinds of trials come your way. For you know that when your faith succeed, because in these different tests, our faith is going to, you know, increase and succeed. You know, every time we pass a test, your faith is just going to get boosted. It says, for you know that when your faith succeed in facing such trials, the results in the ability to endure. So you're going to be able to endure the situation, man. It may not be, you know, it may feel like, you know, the Lord ain't going to do nothing, but the Lord can do something at the last minute, man. He can make something pop at the last minute. You know, and you be like, damn. You know, you over here stressing and shit, and the Lord just find a way every time. And the Lord, I'm going to put it like this, man. The Lord put many tests on you, and you still stressing, and you seeing over time that the Lord been doing for you, that's not really faith. Because why are you worrying all the time when you done been through these many tests? Versus a brother who may not been through many tests. He's not going to really know how to react because he haven't been through many. But if you've been through many, you shouldn't really be stressing like that, man. Because you already know what the Lord's gonna do. You done been through many tests. You know? Like, for example, a brother who first coming in the faith, in the fold, you know, he's gonna get worried like a motherfucker because this is his first test compared to somebody who's, you know, been through shit, thousands of different tests. You know? You shouldn't worry after, you know, you done been through so many. Unless this one just, you know, just got overboard, then maybe, you know. So now, let's ended with this one. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and we're gonna start at verse 5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not. The Lord said, don't despise it. Meaning, don't look past it. It said, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So the Lord said, don't faint in the situation. Meaning, don't get all worried, man. Sometimes you got to be in the mindset that it is what it is, man. The Lord gonna take care of me, man. No matter how the situation may look, the Lord gonna take care of me, and you got to believe that, man. You know, you got to believe that the Lord's gonna take, you know, care of His servants. If you truly a servant, because if the Lord see you fit, He's gonna take care of you, man. Verse 6: For whom the Lord Yahweh Shah loveth, He chasteneth. So the Lord love you, He's gonna chasten you, man. And some brothers chasten is gonna be more than others. That's balance, man. Honestly, that's balance with Yahweh Shah. The Lord gonna have some brothers go through plenty of trials and tribulation, and then the Lord can have another brother go through less trials and tribulations. That's balance. The Lord can't have every brother going through hard trials and tribulation, because then how can that other brother pick you up if he's going through a hard trial and tribulation? So it's balance. Verse 6, it says, for whom the Lord Yahweh Shah loveth, He chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom He receiveth. So every son He receives is going to go through trials and tribulations. But like I said, some is going to be greater than others. All right. Verse 7, it says, if ye endure chastening, Hold on, Salam. Okay, yeah. Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. You see that? So if you're enduring the chastening that the Lord is bringing towards you, you consider a son. All right? Like I said earlier, you done have some people that done came to the truth, the Lord put hell on them, they ran. And forgot about truth. It's one thing you ran from the situation, but you still going. Some brothers, they say, fuck this. You know? So it says, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasten not? See, the Lord is gonna chasten all of us. It said, what son is you if the Father not chasten you? Who the fuck you think you are? Because first and foremost, Yahweh Shai. If Yahweh Shai went through chastening, you don't think we gonna go through it? What did the scripture say? The servant is not greater than his Lord. So we're gonna catch hell, man. We're gonna catch hell from Yahweh Shai. Verse 8, it says, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. You see that? Let's read that again. But if ye be without chastisement, meaning the Lord ain't put no hell on you whatsoever, you should be worried, first and foremost. You should be very worried. But it says, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. You see that? Let's read that again. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So you're not even considered a son if the Lord not bringing hell towards you, man. So if the Lord like I said, man, the Lord bringing hell on you, count it as joy, man. All right, don't look at it as a burden. Like, damn, Lord, why you keep doing this? Look at it as joy, man. Look at it as something positive and not nothing negative. And I'm gonna end it there, man. Lord, when this video was edifying, I'm gonna close it with giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechakodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, the great millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today, starting with Elder Pastor Haron down. Double honor to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under, down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.